I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to be invited for an internship, the very first part of my United States experience, to work for a big e-commerce company in the States. And what I learned there, I can only contrast it to my experience before that, which was the hierarchy and the business world in Germany compared to the United States. And what allowed me to bring that back to Germany was that the hierarchies are very flat in the States, giant company. Me as an intern, I was able to walk into the office of the CEO and was able to ask my questions. And what I was able to learn there was just phenomenal.
So what were these things in particular?
In Germany, you try to perfect everything before you go out in the market. You don't present anything that has even the littlest flaw. You're taught to perfect everything in your own terms, which in the United States is, and to me, which is clear now, is just nonsense, because it's not you have to satisfy. You have to satisfy your customers, the visitors to your website, meaning you start very dirty in German terms. You start with a raw version of your product, with a raw version of your website, and then you get feedback from the visitors. Which headline works best, which images work best, which colors work best, and then you start optimizing your website to the wishes and wants and needs of your visitors. That was one of the key insights, which allowed me to scale my business over here very, very quickly, because competitors still probably work on their first version, and I'm already on the 10th version of my website, and I'm already at the consumer, whereas they are still in their conception phase. That was, I guess, the key learning that I was able to bring. You don't present your product, but you present what the product will do for your user. So what's the problem that you solve with your product, or what's the wish that you're able to have your clients fulfill themselves? And we as Germans, we describe our product, we describe the color, the shape, the size, but we never go into the actual value that it delivers to the person. Quick example, if you have one of these pavilions that we sit underneath, the German would describe it as 6 by 6 feet, and it has a certain aluminum that is colored in a certain way to resist the weather or whatever. In the United States, you just tell them, hey, it's easy to clean, it's easy to set up, period. That sells. And so that was only. So when I set up a website, I try to figure out what's the benefit that the users go for. I use Google Analytics to see how many people are coming to my website, and that's where most people stop analyzing. They say, all right, I get 5,000 people on my website, I'm happy. But the interesting part starts there. Which headline communicates that benefit best? And that's the headline I work with. And that's how you are able to very quickly, from a very raw version of it, to scale it up. Just look at the benefit, try to communicate benefit, and try to see your website not only as a communication tool away from you and towards the visitor, but try to get information back as much as you can. It's not only information distribution, but also information gathering tool for me or for us, which then allows you to optimize according to the wishes and wants of your visitors. Split testing is a pretty easy concept, which allows you to find out which headline works best. So meaning the software that we develop shows headline A to 50% of the visitors, and automatically switches the headline to headline B for the other 50% of the visitors. And then you can see which headline keeps the people on the page longest, which headline really converts best. This is a split testing tool that we wrote that allows us to figure out the benefit that works best. And the second is a very, very simplified version of Google Analytics, because Google Analytics is a great tool, but it's so vast in its capabilities, and it has to be because it has to serve the big online shop with 10,000 products just as much as the little guy who just sells one ebook. And in between is a huge discrepancy between things that actually provide real insights. And so we wrote a program to really simplify it down to the essence, which to me is only 3 questions. Number 1, where do I reach the people that are interested in my message? Like, is it Google? Is it Facebook? Is it Twitter? Where do I reach the people that really resonate with me? So it's where. What do I have to show them there to grab their attention? And how do I communicate my benefit on my website to convert them? It's only these 3 questions. And Google Analytics is able to answer 10,000 questions, but you never find these answers to these 3 questions. So that's the questions that we ask ourselves constantly. And that's what this tool is based on, just to answer these 3 specific questions, I guess. That's definitely the groundwork, the foundation of your data work. And then, of course, it becomes very unique on top of that. But I think 90% of the website owners or business owners out there, they don't even have those basics under control. Yeah. So, and then you sort of, only then will you realize the actual value of tracking and of Google Analytics once you understand and you see a benefit or a return on your investment, and then you start investing time and effort into getting into the nuances. I'm not your usual online marketing guy that has to, I don't know, grows riches. I feel like I'm, as you said, I'm there. You know, I've found my peace with my family in a beautiful place that I was gifted to live in, right at the Lake Chiemsee in Bavaria, beautiful countryside, mountain ranges and lakes all over. So there's no more for me to aspire to. Sure, a Porsche in the driveway is a nice thing to have, but it's that time and the quality of life that is, to me, above profit. So I don't maximize for profit anymore, I maximize for quality of life. And so we scaled back our operation to a core team of 3 people and a couple of freelancers, down from 10 fixed employees that only give you hassle and trouble and emotional conflicts and huge responsibility, and it ties you down. And I do want to have that freedom in every moment to say, I'm much rather go to swim with my daughter. You know, I'd much rather leave a couple €1,000 on the table and buy myself that time, because I've been in that rat race, you know, to top the other ones, to have another 10,000 more or whatever. The birth of my daughter was the turning point to me, and that's the beauty. Like you said, it's only a laptop I need, and it's my knowledge that I put out into the world. That's all there is for me. I can speak from our current clients and what they reflect back to me as a future client from my experience with my current clients and their feedback. What you can expect is, number 1, clarity. So many people are really confused about where to invest their advertising budgets, where to invest their time and their energy. Is it Google AdWords? Is it social media? There's so many options for you, and you're always told certain things by certain agencies, which is not always in your own best interest as an entrepreneur or as a businessman, but it's usually in the best interest of those agencies, which brings their value. So I'm the third party, your partner, to really be able to qualify and quantify your success in certain areas, in certain targets, in certain target markets. And I see myself as the unabhängig, the independent advisor that is only thinking in your best interest.